Over the years, I've come to understand being affirmative as a standpoint or a stance rather than a manualized step, right? So a really big part of it is to understand where should we be coming from. And then we can look at how do we go about engaging with others on it. So when we say that someone's affirmative, we have to be that person who is constantly engaging in self reflection, who's looking at their own internalized heteronormative scripts, who's looking at the bi negativity, trans negativity that we're unknowingly carrying with ourselves, who's able to check their own privilege. That's one of the biggest parts of being affirmative. Because when we're able to do that, then we're really able to meet a person where they are instead of from where we are. The other is to become more involved, right? So it's not a theoretical concept. We can't learn it and say that, okay, now I've got it. We have to sort of live it in some ways. You have to stand for and you have to practice what you're sort of saying that you're doing, right? So I can't be affirmative and say I've understood the tenets of being affirmative and then not stand up when I see somebody being discriminated against or not call out harassment, basic things like that. We must create an affirmative setting. So a lot of what is part of being affirmative is being able to create safe spaces, is how I understand it. Do all identities feel safe in the setting that you're creating for them? And how do you really go about it? So I know you have talked about this before in terms of paperwork, in terms of settings, but it's not just that. It's also in the language that we use. What do we train our reception staff to talk like? What do we understand of using personal pronouns versus, insisting on binary sort of divisions? How are our toilets situated, for example? Like, do we have a his and her toilet segregation? And then also being part of advocacy in some ways. So when we say this, what is it that we can actually do when it comes down to actual actionable things? Can we work on our language, work on improving the heteronormative ways in which we speak, reduce some of the pathologizing? So उसको anxiety है, yes, उसको anxiety है, but उसको anxiety disorder नहीं है. He's feeling sad about something versus he's depressed is very different. Be very aware of what is considered stigmatizing or derogatory language, because somehow pop culture still seems to be using a lot of words which are just horrendous. And I don't know why they're still being used, but yes. And actually be more forthcoming. So just ask people, what are they comfortable with? I have clients who don't. So my form says gender as a blank space where you can type out whatever they want. So there are people who write whatever version they want. One of my clients recently educated me that there are 30 or 40 some versions of how you can identify gender on Facebook. And, we had an entire conversation about that. So look at how you can allow people the space to sort of build that narrative instead of again taking that expert stance and saying that, okay, I'm telling you that ye hai. Setup we sort of talked about a little bit. Stop assuming. It's always okay to ask. At least in my practice so far in the 6 years, I've never had a client come up to me and be offended that I asked something. It's better to come from a place where you say, hey, I don't know this. I don't want this to become something that's painful to you. And I don't want it to be detrimental to our therapy process. I would like to know this. Would it be okay if we talk about this? Majority people, when they know that you're coming from a well-intentioned place, will be okay with answering things. Assuming, on the other hand, makes that person feel that they're experiencing erasure even in a place which they considered was their safe space. Challenge misinformation. So a lot of times my clients will come and say that, okay, like maybe because we're also a fairly spiritual and religious culture. Like they'll come and they'll say, okay, now this means that, I am destined to this and this is what's going to happen next in my life. Please challenge that, because that's deterministic, and that's what societally we've been taught on how to, hold that space of shame. And if all of this is happening, it must be with the lens of how do we help this person build better self acceptance and challenge their own homonegativity, internalized homonegativity. So, if we can do these as actionable things, we're already creating a more affirmative and safe space for them to access help.